Part 1. The Beginning in Shadows. In a dusty corner of a forgotten village nestled between barren hills lived a poor man named Rafiq. His hut was made of mud and dried straw, with a leaky roof and cracked walls that trembled in the wind. Life had never given him much. No wealth, no education, and no powerful name. His only possessions were a pair of worn-out sandals, a strong back, and a heart full of dreams. Rafiq worked as a laborer in the village fields, toiling from sunrise to sunset for just a few coins and a piece of dry bread. He lived alone, his parents lost to illness when he was young. Every night, as he lay under the stars on his old torn mat, he whispered to the heavens, "Ya Allah, is this the life I was destined for?" But even in his poverty, Rafiq was kind. He helped the elderly carry water, shared his little food with street dogs, and never hesitated to give to someone who needed more than him. People in the village mocked him for dreaming too big. "You think fate will change for someone like you?" they'd laugh. Yet Rafiq never gave up hope. Part 2. The Turn of Fate. One scorching summer, the village was hit by a severe drought. Crops died, wells dried up, and families began to leave in search of water and food. Rafiq, too, decided to walk to the nearby city in hopes of finding work. He had no money, but he had determination. He walked for 3 days straight, surviving on stale bread and river water. In the city, life was harsher. He worked as a cleaner at a construction site, carrying bricks, sweeping floors, and sleeping under bridges. But he watched, learned, and listened. He noticed how construction supervisors read blueprints and guided workers. Rafiq, though uneducated, had a sharp mind. At night, he would sketch buildings on pieces of garbage using charcoal. One day, a retired architect named Mr. Kabir, who volunteered at the site, noticed Rafiq's sketches. Shocked by the accuracy and detail, he asked, "Where did you learn this?" Rafiq replied humbly, "I just watch and imagine." Impressed, Mr. Kabir took him under his wing. He taught Rafiq the basics of architecture and design. Rafiq soaked in the knowledge like a sponge, learning not only to draw, but also how to manage workers and plan structures. Part 3. Rising from the dust years past. Rafiq became a site supervisor, then a junior architect. He worked tirelessly, always remembering the pain of hunger and humiliation. With time, he started his own small construction firm, hiring workers from poor backgrounds and training them just like Mr. Kabir had trained him. He built homes, schools, and even a free shelter for homeless laborers. His company grew, and so did his name. The boy who once begged for work was now invited to international conferences to talk about sustainable housing for the poor. One day, Rafiq returned to his old village. The same villagers who had once mocked him welcomed him with tears and garlands. He didn't come back with pride, but with purpose. He built proper homes, a school, and a water plant for the villagers. Final part. Destiny Redefined. One night, as Rafiq sat under the stars on a hill above the village, he looked up again, just like he did when he was young. He whispered, "Thank you, Allah, not for the success, but for the struggles." Rafiq proved that destiny is not written by wealth, but by will. Born poor, he didn't accept defeat. Instead, he fought with patience, kindness, and hard work. His story became a symbol of hope, that even the poorest man can rise if he dares to dream and never gives up. Would you like me to turn this into a YouTube script or give you a title and description for a video version of this story? Part 5. The Test of True Greatness. Though Rafiq had achieved what once seemed impossible, life still tested him. Now a respected man with wealth and status, he faced a different kind of poverty, the poverty of trust. As his company grew, so did the number of people around him. Some were sincere, but others were there only for personal gain. One day, his most trusted manager, whom he had once lifted from the streets, betrayed him by embezzling money and disappearing. The loss almost brought Rafiq's company to its knees. The media turned against him. Clients backed out. The same city that once celebrated him now questioned his integrity. But Rafiq, grounded in his values, did not panic. He called a press conference, stood calmly before the cameras and said, "I was born in dust, and I will return to dust one day. I do not fear losing money. I only fear losing the trust of the people I serve. His humility and honesty touched hearts. Donations, support, and messages of encouragement began to pour in, not just from Pakistan, but from people around the world who had been inspired by his journey. Part 6. Light from Darkness. Instead of taking revenge or pitying himself, Rafiq used the incident as a turning point. He created a trust and skill foundation, which trained poor youth in trades like masonry, carpentry, plumbing, and architecture. His goal was simple. No poor boy or girl should ever feel helpless the way I once did. His foundation expanded across the country. Thousands of lives were changed. Mothers whose sons once begged for work now watched them wear uniforms and build homes. Young girls became engineers and designers. Rafiq refused awards from politicians. He preferred standing quietly in the background, watching others rise. Part 7. The Legacy. In his later years, Rafiq published a small book titled From Dust to Destiny, where he shared his story, not as a hero, but as a servant of fate. He wrote, "My poverty was not a curse. It was my teacher. It taught me hunger, so I could understand giving. It taught me loneliness, so I could value every human connection. It broke me, so I could rebuild myself stronger." When he passed away peacefully at the age of 72, the news spread like wildfire. Tributes came in from every corner of the world. Streets were named after him. Schools honored his legacy with annual scholarships for underprivileged students. But his real legacy lived in the hearts of those he had touched, the poor, the forgotten, the hopeless, who now stood proud because one poor man dared to rewrite his destiny. Would you like a moral summary, a video script version, or perhaps an animated story idea based on this?